Hariom everyone. Hariom Vivekji, Sumanji, Soumyaji, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. As part of Still the Intellect movement, welcome to our community's celebration of Mahashivaratri. It is a joy to see our community come together to celebrate not just a tradition, but the infinite peace and auspiciousness that Bhagwan Shiva represents within all of us. Tonight is a journey from the outer world to the inner. We have a beautiful flow of reflections and offerings prepared for you. We begin with Sumanji, or recently promoted to Suman Mama, or Uncle Suman, who will lead us through the narration of Bhagwan Shiva's stories and profound meanings. Following Sumanji, we have Soumyaji, who will facilitate a Sarala Puja, accompanied by Ragini chanting as well. In preparation, please reflect on ways that you can simplify your lifestyle with respect to materials, experiences, and even beings. Take a moment to write down 3 specific ways in which you will simplify your lifestyle and offer these practices as part of your sankalpa during the puja. So if you're able to, grab a piece of paper, have a bowl that's nearby, and during the puja, offer all of these practices as well as part of your sankalpa. Thereafter, we will immerse ourselves into sacred chanting of Om Namah Shivaya, led by our high school students, Leila and Samya. Thereafter, Vivekji will lead us through a guided contemplation. We will conclude this evening with our happy hour Sevaka team who will share a special video and a poster, followed by announcements and a few words from our Philanthropy for Society team, who will share on the Manobal fundraising initiative that we have as well. So take a deep breath. Let go of the day's busyness. Let us come together, come closer, smile, and enjoy. To start our evening, I invite Sumanji to open our hearts and with the story of Bhagwan Shiva. Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone. Hari Om, Vivekji. Gratitude for this opportunity with Yatin sharing. I'm not sure if I just joined a podcast or our Mahashivaratri celebration, but his voice is so soothing and the cadence is so systematic. A joyous Mahashivaratri to all. I'm really happy to be gathering with our community tonight, and it's just wonderful. Mahashivaratri is a time for us to become more quiet and to discover that quietude itself is Bhagavan Shiva. And what quietens the heart the most is not pleasure, possessions, positions. It's peace. Another word for this is love. Love without expectation or conditions. And it's such love that softens us, returns us to simplicity, innocence, stillness. So this evening, I wanted to share a story with you all about 2 best friends, the first best friends forever, and how their love for one another draws us closer to that very quietude we seek on Shivaratri. So I want to say long ago, when I say the world had become heavy with suffering, but that's maybe not so long ago. That's a lot like today, right? But we'll say long ago anyway. So long ago, the world had become heavy with suffering. And there were these powerful, unrighteous forces that had arisen, and the devatas, those aligned with dharma, they were being tormented. This is always the case with the devatas. They're always running and looking for help, yeah? And it's said in such times, dharma itself becomes like a wanderer. Dharma has no place to stand. And so unable to bear this suffering, the devatas, they turned to Lord Vishnu and they said, we're overwhelmed. We can't protect dharma. We can't protect righteousness. We're struggling. Please help us. And so Bhagavan Vishnu listened. And then he, the very sustainer of the cosmos, said something quite remarkable. He didn't say, "Oh, I'll fix this," or "I'm strong. Yeah, I'll take care of this." He said, "Don't worry. Don't fear. I'll go to Mount Kailash and worship Lord Shiva. By his grace, all of this will be looked after." In our scriptures, or rather, for many of us, Bhagavan Shiva and Bhagavan Vishnu hold different places, right? Sometimes they're almost like rivals amongst individuals. But in our scriptures, this is not the case. It's we who project such smallness onto their vastness. In the Shiv Puran, Bhagavan Vishnu worships Bhagavan Shiva. In the Ramayana, Bhagavan Shiva worships Bhagavan Vishnu. They're eternal companions, two expressions of the same truth. But most simply, they are the best of friends. So Bhagavan Vishnu journeys to Mount Kailasha. And Bhagavan Vishnu isn't going for any personal gain, but for the welfare of the world, for Loka Sangraha, the upliftment of all. And there he prepares a sacred space. He kindles a fire, he begins praying, and time passes. Stillness deepens, but Bhagavan Shiva does not appear. So Bhagavan Vishnu turns inward even more tenderly. He begins chanting the Shiva Sahasranama, the 1,000 names of Bhagavan Shiva. Sometimes when I think about this, I think of our parents and so on and so forth, how they have so many names for us, right? My mother would call me jalebi, jangri, rasgulla. Some of these sweets I didn't even know, but one she never called me was double ka metta, which I realize is my favorite sweet. So maybe one day Swati will call me double ka metta. Maybe she'll make it. Sorry, I digress. So many names, yeah, with such endearment, with such tenderness, Bhagavan Vishnu is chanting. And for each name, he offers one lotus. One name, one lotus. Again and again. Now really, do you think Bhagavan Shiva isn't home? He's always home. Usually he's just chilling in meditation for thousands of years. Mother Parvati's sitting there like, yo, is this guy gonna wake up? I gotta ask him a question. What's going on? Just a second, okay? So Bhagavan Shiva is there. Mother Parvati is waiting, right? So Bhagavan Shiva is watching Bhagavan Vishnu the whole time. And now he decides to test his best friend. How much does my boy really love me? So he sneaks around and he sees Bhagavan Vishnu, eyes closed, tears streaming down his face as he's chanting. And what does Bhagavan Shiva do? He sneaks in and he snags one lotus and he hides it. He puts it in his pocket. Or maybe Bhagavan Shiva doesn't have pockets, right? He's wearing a loincloth. He just takes it, okay? He takes one lotus from the thali. And Bhagavan Vishnu is reaching the end of Shiva Sahasranama. And he pauses. He's reaching into his thali and something's wrong. He moves his hand around and he realizes there's no more lotuses left. One name remains, but the lotuses are gone. So he opens his eyes and he's like, did Vayu Devata take one of these? Did he blow one away? These Devatas are always messing around. So he counts again. This name, that name. 999 names, 999 lotuses. I did my math right. Where did the last one go? And then he quietly closes his eyes and he smiles. Not in a calculating or clever way, but with a simple childlike thought. And he thinks to himself, you know, they call my eyes lotuses. So if one lotus is missing, I can just offer one of these. And so he prepares to offer his own eye. I remember when I first heard this story from Shiv Puran. I remember when I was little, I walked in to my sister in the bathroom getting ready. She was like putting makeup on, and she has this crazy looking tool. It has like hands on the end. They look like tongs, and then she's bringing it closer to her eye. Apparently, it's an eyebrow or eyelash curler, but to me, it looked like an eyeball extractor. So I was like, what are you doing, Akka? What is the situation? Are you changing eyeballs? It's not worth it. Whoever he is, it's not worth it. Turns out it was just for her eyelashes. But just imagining Bhagavan Vishnu, taking his eyeball out. And so Bhagavan Shiva's watching this, right? Bhagavan Vishnu's about to take his eye out. He's like, I gotta finish Shiva Sahasranama. And Bhagavan Shiva, who is calmly testing his devotion earlier, is now looking on in horror. And he's like, I gotta stop this. So he springs into action. He's like, bro, just chill out, all right? He just smacks his hand away and he lifts him up and he just hugs him. And he's like, enough. What's going on? You could have just DM'd me. You send Garuda. That would have been faster. What do you need? And Bhagavan Vishnu was like, you're right, man. This barreled out of control way too quickly. What am I doing? And then Bhagavan Vishnu looks at Bhagavan Shiva and he says, the Devatas are struggling. The world is suffering. Can you help? Can you help me protect Dharma? Can you help us protect Dharma? And who is Bhagavan Shiva? Ashutosha, the one who's easily pleased. How could one not be pleased and wanting to help? Such a sincere question. So pleased beyond measure, Bhagavan Shiva grants Bhagavan Vishnu the Sudarshan Chakra. That most awesome weapon, once released, it finds what it's looking for. And with it, Bhagavan Vishnu is able to restore balance. Dharma finds its footing once more. When I think on this story, I hold it dear because the most powerful moment is not the Sudarshan Chakra. It's that missing lotus. When devotion is tested, Bhagavan Vishnu does not calculate, he doesn't strategize, he becomes simple, the simplest. And this is the unlearning Shivaratri invites us into. As we grow up, our love becomes cautious, calculating, expecting. But you think on a child, their love is simplicity. It's without agenda, isn't it? Bhakti is about that very simplicity and sincerity. That very simplicity and sincerity that naturally quietens the heart. And when you think on Bhagavan Vishnu is not the manager of some local department store. He's the sustainer of the universe, the multiverse. He can do anything. And yet what does he do? He goes to Mount Kailasha and worships Bhagavan Shiva. What we're really being shown here is not that the world needs a Sudarshan Chakra or more weapons. The protection of the world is not of this nature. It's the dissolution of one's ego, the fundamental cause of suffering. Bhagavan Vishnu in his vastness shows us the power of humility and surrender in realizing this truth. And even more wonderfully, how does one arrive at such humility and surrender? Loka Sangraha. Expanding one's purpose beyond oneself. From serving me to serving family, community, society, to serving the self in each of us that is the self in all. This is why Bhagavan Vishnu went to Bhagavan Shiva. Actions done for personal gain fade. Actions done for the welfare of the world endure. Bhakti expands the heart by helping it let go of me and mine, which creates all the noise in our minds. And so on this Mahashivaratri, I hope we all remember this truth and settle into the silence that is Bhagavan Shiva. Hari Om, everyone.
Sumanji, thank you so much for sharing. Wonderful as well. We're going to now pass on over through to Soumya for our puja that's going to take place. So hopefully everyone's got an opportunity to grab a few pieces of paper, a bowl, so that they can make the offering as well as part of their sankalpa as well. Hari Om. Soumya over through to you.
Hari Om and welcome. Truly, Bhagwan Shiva is Ashutosha. And we'll take a few minutes now to worship that most compassionate Lord. Please sit comfortably, forget the world for the next few minutes, and we will sit only connecting to the Lord. Yeah? Ready? Take a deep breath. We'll start by worshiping, invoking the grace and blessings of Lord Ganesha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Seeking the blessings of our Guru Parampara. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Now we'll take a sankalpa together. This is a firm resolve to tell Bhagwan, I'm going to worship you wholeheartedly for the next few minutes. And the intent of this worship is just spiritual wealth, nothing of the world. So we'll do this lead and follow. Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu.
Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu.
Mamopata,
Mamopatha,
Samasta,
Samasta,
Duritakshay Dwara,
Duritakshaya Dwara,
Sri Parameshwara Prithyatham,
Shri Parameshwara Prithyatham,
Shraddha,
Shraddha,
Bhakti,
Bhakti,
Jnana,
Jnana,
Vairagya,
Vairagya,
Siddhyartham,
Siddhyartham,
Vidya,
Vidya,
Vinaya,
Vinaya,
Praptyartham,
Praptyartham,
Shri Sadashiva Pujam Karishye.
Sadashiva Pujam Karishye.
Now, let's invoke Bhagwan to come to our puja. In your heart, visualize the most beautiful form of Bhagwan Shiva. Intensely connect with him and invite him to be part of our puja. Atha dhyanam karpura gauram karunavataram samsarasaram bhujagendraharam sada vasantam hridayaravinde bhavam bhavani sahitam namami bhavam bhavani sahitam namami. Om Namah Shivaya Avahayami. Feel Bhagwan's presence here in this puja. Next, we welcome Bhagwan and offer him a seat. Let us give our heart as a seat to Bhagwan. May he ever be seated in our hearts. Om Namah Shivaya Asanam Samarpayami. Next, we'll offer water to wash Bhagwan's feet. If we remember our Bhakti Hour class, at this point, please offer the Jala Tattva in our Sharira back to Bhagwan. Om Namah Shivaya Padyam Samarpayami. Next, visualize we are washing Bhagwan's hands. Om Namah Shivaya. Arghyam Samarpayami. Next, visualize we are offering water to wash Bhagwan's face. Om Namah Shivaya. Achamaniyam Samarpayami. Next, we'll offer a nice, cool, refreshing bath to Bhagwan. Om Namah Shivaya. Snanam Samarpayami. Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityormukhi Amamritat. Because it's a special day today and Bhagwan Shiva loves Abhisheka. So today we'll offer a little bit of milk to him as Abhishekam. Visualize he's enjoying this special Abhisheka. Namaste astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikalagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Bhagwan's pleased with that wonderful bath. Next, we offer Vastram to the Lord. Om Namah Shivaya. Vastrartham Pushpam Samarpayami. Om Namah Shivaya. Gandhan Dharayami. At this point, we are offering back our earth element to Bhagwan. Feel his presence and feel that we are offering this to Bhagwan. Next, Om Namah Shivaya. Akshatani Samarpayami. Now we'll worship Bhagwan with flowers. This is the Archana stage. Feel his presence deeply, and with each Namaha, let's offer our deepest love and gratitude to Bhagwan. We'll do this also, lead and follow. Om Sthiraya Namaha.
Om Sthiraya Namaha.
Om Sthanave Namaha.
Om Sthanave Namaha.
Om Prabhave Namaha.
Om Prabhave Namaha.
Om Bhimaya Namaha.
Om Bhimaya Namaha.
Om Pravaraya Namaha.
Om Pravaraya Namaha.
Om Varadaya Namaha.
Om Varadaya Namaha.
Om Varaya Namaha.
Om Varaya Namaha.
Om Sarvatmane Namaha.
Om Sarvatmane Namaha.
Om Sarvavikhyataya Namaha.
Om Sarvavikhyataya Namaha.
Om Sarvasmai Namaha.
Om Sarvasmai Namaha.
Om Sarvakaraya Namaha.
Om Sarvakaraya Namaha.
Om Namah Shivaya. Archanam Samarpayami. If you have written down your intent now, please offer it to him in the bowl in front of you. Next, we'll offer Dhupa to Bhagwan. Please visualize you're offering back the air tattva to Bhagwan at this point. Om Namah Shivaya. Deepam Sandarshayami. Next, Dhupam Sandarshayami. Next, we'll offer Deepam to Bhagwan. Om Namah Shivaya. Deepam Sandarshayami. Now, we'll offer Naivedyam to Bhagwan. Offering of Naivedyam is offering our ego unto him. Please feel that you're offering your ego unto him with complete surrender. Today we've made a little bit of fruits for him and some dry fruits, a dry fruit laddu. Please invite Bhagwan, ask him to come accept our humble Naivedya and bless us with a purified ego. Om Namah Shivaya, Naivedyam Nivedayami. Now, as Bhagwan is eating, we will chant Om Namah Shivaya 16 times in our head. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya. Feel that Bhagwan is pleased with our humble offering and he's blessed us with a purified ego. Next, we'll offer Arati to Bhagwan. Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे. Now we'll offer Karpura Arti to Bhagwan. तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. If you are able to, please stand up and offer Shashtang Namaskara to Bhagwan for having come and blessed and been here with us in our humble puja. Om Namah Shivaya. Shashtanga Pradakshina Namaskaran Samarpayami. Now we'll offer this puja and the puja phala also to Bhagwan. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्री सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि. Let's all pray to Bhagwan to bless us, give us the courage, wisdom, shraddha, and the strength. Mahadeva Shankar. Feel that Bhagwan is most pleased with our devotion and with our dedicated time with him. It's now time to take Bhagwan back into our hearts from where he came. Om Namah Shivaya. Shamasva Shamasva Udhvasvayami. Seeking Bhagwan's grace that he may ever be with us, help us, guide us, and bless us. Hari
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Greetings from Niagara Falls. And a joyous Mahashivaratri to all. What is special about every one of you is not that you have an intellect, because 8 billion others also have intellects. It is an intellect that inquires into the fundamental. One of the most powerful ways to use the intellect is to inquire into the purpose of you. Why were you born? What are you offering to creation, and so on? As we, and I reflect on this in terms of the purpose of our community, the purpose of our community is to direct us to freedom. This may be our purpose on paper or in a book, but getting distracted is easy, especially in Kali Yuga. And that's why having a community that keeps directing us towards freedom is critical. As part of this direction, we have organized our Still the Intellect movement. It's not an event. It is a movement the way our heart is a movement. It continues. It supports. When we inquire with the intellect into purpose enough, that intellect starts to fall away. And in doing so, we come to shift from dependent joy to independent joy. Within this movement, to help to direct us, we celebrate. We are celebrating perhaps the most important utsava in Sanatana Dharma, which is Mahashivaratri. Why it's the most important? In a poetic way, it is the birthday of God. Only with the birthday of God does there come a birthday of one's map, one's guide, oneself. In a more specific way, Mahashivaratri is completely sattvic. All sense of being an extrovert is shut down. If there's one phrase that can be associated with Mahashivaratri, it is to let go. Let go of screen time. Let go of one's self-image. Let go of thoughts. This is the rationale behind Ratri. As you go to sleep, isn't this what you do? You let go of screens, you let go of body, you let go of mind. The only difference is now we're doing this through a vrata. We are fasting from all that we depend on. And if I can follow through with this completely, I come to rediscover I am Shiva. There is only awareness. In this evening's celebration, we have been following the plan given to us by one of the greatest masters, and that is Sri Ramana. Sri Ramana has guided us to first start our journey to Bhagavan Shiva, to awareness, with puja. After that, to let go and engage in japa. And then to let go more and engage in dhyana, or contemplation. For the next while, I'm going to try to guide all of us through a visualization to meeting, to being with Bhagavan Shiva. Inhale deeply through your nose. As you exhale, rest your eyes. Close your eyes with the feeling that you don't need to open them, that you are letting go of the outer world. Imagine waking up in Bharat, or in present times, Tibet. As you become conscious of your surroundings, you hear in a very, very, very faint way Om Namah Shivaya. And this very, very, very faint sound, it is healing. It is peaceful. Not knowing where you are, you start to move in the direction of this sound. Your walking is slowly turning into hiking over loose rock, thin streams. This is hard. The air is thin and cold. Yet every once in a while, you hear more audibly, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And though you are beginning to tire, inside, you feel rested. Inside, you feel full. You keep hiking and hiking, not knowing how far you've hiked or how long you've hiked. And it doesn't matter. For you can hear and feel Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Your journey continues. The exhaustion grows. And the once grayish sky suddenly clears up. And as you look to the sky, you see in a visceral way the most beautiful scene you have ever seen. It is a mountain, an immense mountain, capped with snow. And though you are looking with your eyes, with your ears, you are listening to the Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, coming from this mountain. Could this be Mount Kailasha, what your grandparents told you about? What you read about in books? And though you are hungry and thirsty, your lungs burn and your head hurts, you can't help yourself but move foot over foot towards Mount Kailasha. The air and ground become colder and colder. The streams turn into ice. You finally recognize that you were alone. You are alone. And if anything happens, who will help? And as soon as this doubt arises, even more loudly and clearly you hear and feel Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And you continue. And now you've reached the base of this beautiful, immense highlight of nature. And you're crying and crying and crying that you've reached the home of Bhagavan Shiva. All of the other Devis and Devas live in different dimension, but he chose to stay with you. There is no one else. Being overwhelmed with joy and gratitude, you fall at the feet of Mount Kailasha. And then you feel warm, strong hands on both of your shoulders, lifting you up from that ground. And looking at you straight in the eyes is the incomparable, completely white with the blue neck, ever smiling Bhagavan Shiva. And you are just silent. What can you say? What can you emote? And then Bhagavan Shiva, whose hands are on your shoulders, moves those hands to your back and brings you closer and closer into an all-encompassing hug. And as you let go of the mountain of your body, you feel the sense of individuality, even the sense of divinity, dissolving and all there is the infinite, constant, unconditional pillar of light that is awareness. Awareness is being. Being is awareness. Inhale deeply through your nose. As you exhale, gently open your eyes. And with your eyes closed, there is only infinity. And with your eyes open, only divinity. Purpose. Our Seva teams will continue to share about purpose.
Hariom, Vivekji, Sumanji, Soumyaji, and all. My name is Vansh Tandon, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you to share a little bit about one of our community's many offerings, Happy Hour, a space for elementary and middle school students. So in a moment, we're going to be sharing a video featuring our guides and two special guests that shares a little bit about how our guides make learning Vedanta so fun for our young seekers. But before we jump into this video, I'll share a little bit about this lovely offering that is Happy Hour. So I like to think about Happy Hour as a weekly Sattvic playdate for the younger seekers in our community. It's a space where Sumanji teaches our young seekers about how to become more virtuous in a most relatable and fun way. For example, take bhajana, moving towards Bhagwan with love, which we learned about through a hilarious story about baby Krishna stealing butter hanging from the ceiling. It's and Happy Hour is not just that, it's also a safe space for young seekers to ask the tough questions. For example, a seeker recently asked, why is it that most typically refer to Bhagwan as he instead of she? And outside of that, we also it's Happy Hour is just a space for our young seekers to absorb the teachings of Vedanta in a super unique way. We do word searches, physical activities, we play charades, we have inside jokes about Palak Paneer, and we do so much more. So, without further ado, we'd like to present a promo video that gives y'all a sneak peek into the fun that we have in Happy Hour. Team, please share the video.
Hariom Shukaji, Hariom Vyasaji. What did you teach the kids yesterday? I taught them counting. But wait, how did you count by and what did you count to? I counted to 10 in Hindi and I counted by ones. Show me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, wait! Not 6, 7! Sorry, my brain did it. Hey, are you wearing my clothes? No, you're copying me. You're copying me! No. Well, yours are cool.
Can I please play Roblox?
No, not right now. It's class time.
It's such an L.
Okay, listen up. It's lesson time. Lesson 1, nice words. Repeat to Shuka and say, ask if you can play Roblox in a nice way.
May I please play Roblox?
Better, but you're still sus.
Bruh.
Lesson 2, calm bodies. Deep breath in. A deep breath out. Nice try, but no silly behavior. Okay, good. Usually they teach us. But today they're acting like kids. If you're in elementary or middle school, you should come hang out with us. See you there!
All right, welcome back, everyone. I was just reflecting on how talented our guides are. They teach us Vedanta and they're also awesome actors. This video will be shared on the CM Niagara socials, and we'd like to ask for everyone to reach out to their friends and family to share about this opportunity for elementary and middle school students to get involved. On the topic of getting involved, I want to take a moment to share about the youth tour, and a poster for that is going to be shared soon, um, which has many opportunities for the youth to get involved as well, from family retreats to J-Chick camps to our first ever Happy Hour Stepping Stones retreat that's taking place this summer. Our guides continue to make these teachings accessible not only for us, but for our youth as well. And it's our responsibility to take advantage of these. So please make note of these dates. And yeah, with that, I will pass it to Philanthropy for Society. Hario.
Hariom, Mahashivaratri Tal. I'm Gaurav Khandelwal out of Houston, and I have the distinct pleasure of talking to everyone about our present charity. So during our current initiative, we're supporting a charity called Deepstam, specifically their Manobal project. And the exact words I've written down are unique and awe-inspiring. So to lend some context, Deepstam's Manobal project seeks to serve perhaps the most underserved, most marginalized segment of Indian society, which is 18 to 20, 18 to 22-year-olds with no real support structure. And the thought process behind that specific demographic is by that point, basically, there's no more government funding to their schools, homes, etc. So a lot of times, without an organization like Manobal, these kids would be on the street. What Manobal does specifically is it uplifts youth through a holistic program of education, nutrition, psychotherapy, and actually tries to integrate them into mainstream society, but by providing them long-term employment. The vision of the founder is that all these youth live with dignity and should be an integral part of our society. Having seen some of the output, it's absolutely incredible. We've seen artists, we've seen IAS officials, we've seen bank officers, and it's magnificent what change the program's able to create. What our community is trying to do certainly is raise $27,000 for Manobal, but also hopefully help them have a continuous budget so that they can continue growing. Thinking about this, certainly I know in front of our guides, I have very little that I could share that would be insightful, but as I was reflecting on this, I was reminded that Lord Shiva's name is also Ashutosh, which is to say that Lord Shiva is most easily pleased. And the test that Lord Shiva gives is by granting to his devotees. The test is what we choose to do with our bounty. So I encourage our entire community to support Manobal. I believe Rita shared links in our chat, and also to share with their friends so that we're all able to serve divinity by serving creation. Hariom.
Much appreciation to Soumya, to Sumanji, to all of our Seva team who spoke today, as well as those who coordinated in the background. Rishi Shamika shares with his son, who had just cursed Raja Parikshita that his life will end in 1 week. He shares that one leader who encourages confidence in the community, in the region, is more valuable than 10 Pandits who study the Veda. He uses that comparison very directly. And listening to the word that was used earlier about dignity, and what was shared even earlier than that, what precedes contentment is confidence. And being in a community where all are being directed towards freedom really helps one to feel confident. And a lovely sign of confidence is empowering others. Those who have become empowered can't help but to empower others. This Mahashivaratri celebration, every facet of it is this being lived, not just theorized, not just spoken about, but lived. Please continue to follow through with being the strong seekers that you are, the strong servers that you are. I offer my prayers to Bhagwan Abhayangara. Only the one who is fearless can grace us with the confidence to be courageous on this journey to joy, this journey to awareness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadev. Be joy.